Hi guys, welcome back to our channel Cricket Simplified. It's been a long time that we have actually come back to you on with any new release. Yeah, COVID challenge time, so we all had our different agendas and different things to be done. And yes, Max Talent 2 also got the Max Talent e-cricket world copyright registered, and we have been doing a lot of activities during this period of time. But then, as much as the world got into a tight situation, we too were no different. But now we're back in action. We already started about 3 months ago the training at our Dubai Training Center as well as in Sharjah. And here we are in the lovely place that is the Kent College Cricket Training Academy. Today, actually, one of the lessons that possibly we thought that is important for everyone, and that's about art of captaincy and what captaincy demands and requires in perspective of junior cricket, especially. Yep, and I'm going to address a few of my own guys. They're going to raise a few questions about some of the technical problems they face and some of those tight situations that they get into. So let's see what these young ones have got to tell to us. And there they are, all the young ones. They are all under 10, under 12, under 11, and one is for under 16. Though he's of course just 14-year-old. He's a new captain that we have got here for our Emirates Cricket Board League under 16B. Alright guys, so let's get straight into talking and chatting and get some mind-twitching ideas, okay? Thank you very much. Of you all for our program that is Cricket Simplified, which we actually been doing as a channel of our very own Max Talent, and it's my own channel also. So, but we have been covering a lot of different episodes, but today we are going to do a program on captaincy. What is captaincy, how it is done, and what happens, and few of those technical problems that you face, as well as some of those complex situations that we can always handle better. As I said earlier, that it's not just that it's an ultimate answer, ultimate thing can be done, it can be done differently also, but one of the ways where you can sort of things for yourself. Recently we had IPL going on, and it was a wonderful opportunity for all of you all to understand how each mindset of each captain, each situation is being handled differently, right? So now, the best way that I can think of starting this whole program of today of art of captaincy is asking you guys the question, and then let's address it. All right? Okay. I think Naman can start with the first question.
Okay, so if you're in such a position where you don't have any bowlers who have been pitching it right, and 2 or 3 bowlers who had been doing it well have completely exhausted their overs, and the batsmen are in a set position, how do you bowl and who do you bowl?
Oh, that's actually a very good question, because it's really a very confusing situation for a captain, because it's a very complex one also. Because yes, when you are exhausted or possibly you don't have anyone who is bowling to as per the plan and specifically just line and length, yep. There is no one fixed solution for it, because as much as you are confused and lost, so is everyone on the ground, because they don't know who the next person who may possibly get into. But you have to try out someone whom you have seen them bowling at the net, and you know that under this situation at least you can make the person understand and give your mind to that person, tell the game plan, and tell that person just do simple job, bowl just straight, keep to the line. That's more important. Length, if you try to ask him to put length also, then he may get confused, because too many instructions, and he has not been a regular bowler. It's a kind of a go bowler that you're gone to. Okay, like if you remember what MS Dhoni, sometimes very candidly, very smartly, he would get Sachin to bowl a few overs. Remember that? And then even Virat has brought him to bowl. It's just a kind of it breaks for they are good at breaking partnership. But here it's not a partnership. It's just about to get rhythm back, sanity back, so that things are slowly. At least if someone has been bowling wide and too many wide runs have been scores have been given out, so at least that area will be avoided. But the one thing, Naman, you have to be careful here. This guy may possibly lead some runs, but that you have to bear up, but not those extras. Okay, so that is something. Go to bowler, you have to keep it ready. He may not be a regular bowler. Yep. Okay. Yep. Guys, yeah, yes, Sanjit.
Suppose
Sanjit is our wicket keeper. He is right now our under 12 captain and team captain right now. Yes, Sanjit, go ahead.
so like suppose we're playing a T20. Suppose we're playing a T20 match and like we have 4 experienced bowlers and 1 inexperienced bowler, and like 3 experienced bowlers overs have all finished and 18 overs are done of the match. So should we get the inexperienced bowler to bowl the 19th over or the experienced bowler?
What does common sense is? That is an experiment which is going to bomb in your face. It's just going to be absolutely boomerang. Your whole match, if it was under control, is going to go out of control because you cannot be getting your inexperienced bowler, the guys who have not been tried or not in your scheme of plan, to come and bowl those death overs, right? Now you said you had four bowlers. Yep. Anyway, the 4 bowlers are allowed to bowl 16 overs, right? Yep.
4 experienced bowlers, 1 inexperienced.
4 experienced, 1 inexperienced. So okay, there could be also 6th or 7th bowler also possible. Sometime you can get them in the mix. But this 4 overs, first of all, has to be judicially used in the sense you have to plan it in such a manner that you cannot be exhausting them. You ought to be planning in such a certain manner that 3 has been bowled possibly by someone or 2 has been bowled. You know, recently, very smartly, Rohit Sharma used to use Bumrah to break partnership. He's given him only 2 overs and then after that he's given him a break. But if there's a partnership developing, you would get him to bowl 1 more over and then possibly Trent Bolt possibly would be brought from the other side or whatever if required, and that's where it is. Always remember, this inexperienced bowler you're talking about, the 5th bowler or any other bowler you're going to use, get them in between. Somewhere, possibly when you know that the match is still under control, a few runs leaked by because these inexperienced bowlers, you can still get the match around you. You know, you can get the match back in your control. But if you have used all your experienced bowlers way ahead in 16th and then you leave it to the non-experienced and the other one, you can imagine that balance 4 overs left in the match, it possibly could be the one which will let you down. Let the team down. And you can't blame them because you are not smartly used them. Okay, so you get them in between where you feel that now the match is under control. I can afford to get them in, and possibly a few league runs is fine. Okay? Yeah. Yes, Sahil.
So if it's like
Sahil is our under 10 captain right now. He's also he's nicknamed as legend. Okay. All right, Sahil, go ahead.
okay, so if it's like a situation, it's 1 ball left and 2 runs to win. Where do you keep your best fielders and where do you keep your weakest fielders?
1 ball left, 2 runs to get. Where do you place your best fielder?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such it's a T20 match, I guess you're talking about. It's a very another complex situation because a batsman is not going to tell you where I'm going to hit, will he? So then how will you know where to put your best player? But you still need to be, see, remember 1 run, okay? So you are going to get them in all 30 yards and even in fact some closer to. Okay, so it's nothing to do best fielders and whatnot. It is your all fielders are in because only 1 run, right? 1 run means even if you are kept a guy in the boundary, so how does it matter? They have run the 1 run, they have won it. So best was that you save that run. One standing instruction to all the players is that save this single. That's it, nothing else. So there is no best fielder and there is no any other kind of fielder. All fielders have to save that single and they all have to be within the 30 yards, some maybe even at 20 yards, so that 1 run is saved, blocked. Yep. Yes, Sachin.
So my doubt is fielders in your team
Yeah.
and the batsmen, where suppose if I place a fielder in 3rd man,
Okay.
then the batsman keeps on hitting the ball on 3rd man and
Okay.
the fielder keeps on misfielding.
Yeah.
And then the captain changes his field and then he keeps the weak fielder on covers.
Yeah.
And then the batsman again hits there. What do you do? What do you do with that weak fielder?
Yes, you mentioned the same fielder who was a 3rd man. Now you brought him to covers, and again the ball is going there. You have to actually compliment the batsman. First of all, let me understand. Let me make you understand that he's a very smart batsman who knows where the weak ones are. Okay, but as a captain, look, you ought to somewhere have him field, but giving him also a protection. You cannot keep him in the boundary line because third man, possibly deep third man. You're talking about short third man, deep third man. So obviously, a side fielding means it go for a boundary. At least here, when he's building at covers, maybe short covers or possibly, so at least that boundary may not rush up because there could be, somebody from extra cover or maybe deep gully coming or a point guy coming down and deep point guy coming and giving a protection. Yeah, but then you need to understand two things here, Sachin. One is that the batsman will have some weakness. Possibly he's not good at fine leg. Possibly he's not good at pull shot. Possibly he's not too good at mid on or mid off or something like that. Not good at going on. Very good at late cuts. Then the third man comes in. He's very good at cover drives offside. So probably you can shift this fielder somewhere on the on the leg side where he may not be so great. Possibly that is one solution. Yep. But having said this guy, whoever you're talking about, if he's not, is really a weak fielder, you should not be placing him anywhere on the beyond near the boundary, because the risk of running not only maybe losing a catch but also giving boundaries up right. I mean, okay, yes, there's one small risk you still run if you carry him in the closing fielder, and that is runouts. Possibly he may not, he may mess up, but okay, some chance ought to be taken, because unfortunately you still have to cover him up on the ground, yeah, because he's still part of your team. All right, so that's it. Yes, Naisha.
Sir, my doubt is that say for there is one there are 5 experienced batsmen, so you let 2 pairs go for opening, and all your experienced batsmen have got run out or stumped. So now you only have like the okay batsmen. So what should you do? Like what message you should give that you should do like this?
That's a question which possibly can arise when, if suppose there's a collapse of the on the top order. If the top order collapses, this can happen. What she said, that all your top 5 players are already back, and then now the 5 guys from the 6 down towards the end, right? Naisha, there are a couple of things which is like a doctor prescription. One is that play the first, if it's a T20 match, you have to ensure that your team plays full 20 overs. Because when they play that full 20 overs, you are assured of 2 things. One is that at least some decent score on board. Okay. Second is that you have kept the other team on the field as much as wanted. And if you are playing on net run rate also, that can matter a lot. Now, in this 5 not so established batsmen, you could just give them one simple message, that get singles. If you find that getting boundaries or maybe sixes or whatever it is difficult, get singles. Okay, get the strike rotating. And let us be very clear. I'm sure all of you all have gone through this, that there are times out of the 5, at least there are 1 or 2 guys, they understand a lot of cricket, but may not be very experienced player. So try them to take the strike as much as possible. Put them on strike as much as possible. That message to be very clearly communicated as the game progresses. Yep. Okay. Jerry, any question? Yes.
So whenever
and since it's a junior cricket, it takes a lot of effort for the guys, for the captain to marshal his team. Come on, the third man from that side, and particularly if your bowler is somewhere in third man or deep fine leg, and then he has to come down here. The next bowler, whether he goes there or somewhere else, it takes a lot of time. That's one. Number 2, if there are right and left batsmen in combination, then that will further take a little more extra time, because the fielders are switching. But what is best under the situation should be done when there's a left and a right there is, do not change too many fielders. Just either you push back your leg, when the left hander is there, and that okay, there could be an off leg break bowler, so most of the shot may go on the leg side. So you push that same guys on the back side. Yes, you may run a little risk that you may not get the strongest player fielding for you, but that is still better rather than umpire every time pulling you up and then in the end penalizing. Now, as far as this batsmen's fielders, taking command, you ought to have fielders' attention all the time at you, and you need to tell them, look, at every over when this has happened, rush and come to your place, wherever the next places. So that communication need to be done with the players and tell them that, look, I am penalized. When I am penalized means my team is penalized. Okay, I mean, we're not playing that international level. You know, if you are running beyond your time stipulated, so your certain match fees are deducted. We're not into that kind of a game, right? But yet, it can happen. Some of the rules, serious tournament, they may reduce your overs, or some certain runs may be, deducted as part of the playing law is concerned. So you ought to be careful, and you ought to learn to control not just a player but time. And this is a very common thing at junior level cricket. It's a very common thing to happen. So you need to be very much alert and sensitive, and talk to the players in advance, discuss with the coach, so that you're fielding, you're not having too many changes after every over. Well, after every ball, no, never do it, because then you're going to run out of script control of your time. Yep. Okay. Yeah, guys, more questions? And no, nothing? Yes, Naman.
As a captain, you have a lot of pressure on yourself because of the because you're already playing a very serious match. Above that, you have pressure coming from outside, and you have pressure from a coach. And when that pressure comes in, first of all, you get into some place of mind where you're like, I need to rush. And second of all, when the coach tells you to when the coach makes a decision and tells you, you're a bit confused whether to take that risk of like, that you're on the field, so you know what time, who to play, who should bowl and where should who field. But
Whenever I'm playing as a captain, I've always had a problem of the time limit the fielding team always has, because whenever I used to play, the umpire always used to tell me, do it faster. It's because whenever most of my bowlers, they're not that strong in fielding, so I put them on third man fine leg, and then they take time to come to the bowling end. But then when I keep them on mid-on or mid-off, like close to the bowling end, they keep on giving runs. How can I solve that?
Yes, this is a very actually a common thing to happen, and many a time, many captain, they lose a script as far as the timing, sense of timing is concerned, because T20 or any game that you play, it runs on a certain specific time, time limit. You ought to finish the match in a certain time. Okay, that means every over also you need to have a good control. Now, coming down to the question itself, yes, you see what happened when you guys are playing from both the ends, and since it's a junior cricket, it takes a lot of effort for the guys, for the captain to marshal his team. Come on, the third man from that side, and particularly if your bowler is somewhere in third man or deep fine leg, and then he has to come down here. The next bowler, whether he goes there or somewhere else, it takes a lot of time. That's one. Number two, if there are right and left batsmen in combination, then that will further take a little more extra time, because the fielders are switching. But what is best under the situation?
do you take the risk of your own judgment, or do you use their judgment?
Very, very good question. And of course, it's not a problem as far as under 10, under 11, under 12 is concerned, because then coach is having the remote in his hand most of the time. Okay. But as far as the under 16, where you captain the B team of Max Talent Global Sports, I do understand that complex situation and also where you come from. Yeah, normally what happens, the coach discusses the full game plan in advance, that okay, this your opening bowlers are this, everything, and you are there in the mix of things in the discussion. And you also have your idea, so you also have a little kind of a chat with the coach, or brainstorming that can we also use this bowler here, and so on and so forth. That's before the match. It's already discussed. It's already done. But if there's a saying, if wishes were horses, yeah, definitely Sudhakar Shetty will ride on them. But if everything goes as per to the script that's written outside, then beautiful world, right? It doesn't happen. Situation can change on the ground. Like you thought that, your pacers are going to, bowl you maybe initially 4 overs or 6 overs in a T20 match, and things are going to be under control. But suddenly you find that, no, they're going a lot of wide, and they're taking for the cleaners. They've been hit. So then what to be done? So suddenly the coach from outside says, come on, man, change, get your spinner on. But you thought that, no, can I push it one more over with, one more pacer? Time if you feel split of a doubt, go by your intuitions. Okay? Yeah. More questions? So that you guys do not face any other problems. All right. Now let me talk about something which is just so that at least some shine is taken off. Maybe that's playing in your mind. In that confusing moment, yes, you may end up taking this or that up. It may end up in a problem, and the coach is going to howl at you if the things have not gone right. And he said, "I told you," but you went on, right? And then you thought that, well, you listened to the coach and the things didn't go right. But at least what happened, that he's more responsible. He is more responsible. We need to understand a couple of things. Coaches, ideally, I would always say that they should be not much interfering into senior guys. But then, having said that, there are times when you guys are still learning, so you still need that assistant. And then you may get into a confused state of mind, and the confused you may end up doing something different. So make the coach as your consultant, guy who gives you ideas and all the roadmap for the match. Go by that. 80% go by that. Unless and until you're so sure that no, I know for sure that I'm going to get Sachin to bowl at this over, and I know that Sachin is going to hold. Okay, you ought to have a good reason, ensure that he delivers, and then also win the coach's confidence. Okay, having the coach's confidence will only come up when you might have taken 2 or 3 good decisions on the ground, and then okay, fine, my captain is taking a decision, I'm okay. All right. So, but in conclusion, 80% go by what the coach says, 20%